disperse in this meeting. There'll be time for public comment. We'll address everybody's questions and concerns. You'll have 5 minutes to speak. I will cut you off 1 minute before at the end, and then we will address people's questions in new business. That's how this is gonna go down. Outbursts, any of that stuff, you're gonna be out of here, cops are gonna come in, you're gonna be removed. It's gonna be a calm meeting, and we're gonna talk like ladies and gentlemen. The notice requirements provided for the Open Public Meetings Act has been satisfied. The original notice of this meeting was properly given and published in the Asbury Park Press and the Two Rivers Times and the Star Ledger. The notice has been posted in the Township of Middletown Sewer Authority Administration Building, the Township of Middletown Municipal Building, and filed with the Township Clerk. Roll call.
Mr. Rogers?
Yes.
Ms. Edison? He's absent. Mr. Whitehall?
Present.
Mr. Ionachi? He's absent. Mr. Schweitzer?
Yes?
Mr. Pratt?
Yes.
Mrs. Gill?
Yes. All right. Approval of minutes, regular minutes for February. Need a motion?
Make a motion. Second it.
Mr. Rogers?
Yes.
Mr. Whitehall?
Yes.
Mr. Schweitzer?
Yes?
Mr. Pratt?
Yes.
Mrs. Gill?
Yes. All right, move on to engineer's report.
Sure. I'll go through the capital projects and put ongoing for the industrial projects right now. For the digester cleaning and modification project, we're in the final stages of addressing the punch list items and working through the final quantities change order to close out that project. For the 3 main capital projects which comprise the I-Bank funded project, that's the Fairview and Police Pump Station projects, the 2 largest pump stations for the authority, the Fairview Force Main replacement, which is about a mile of force main, and the various pump stations. Those comprise of all the pump stations within the TOMSA collection system, as well as the force main for Fairview. We had a meeting with I-Bank on March 5th to talk through the scope of that again. We made some revisions to the project based on the current scope, and it looks like the amount of the bond is holding the same, and $30 million for all of those projects together. With those projects, once they're complete, we'll have a new force main, a redundant force main for Fairview Force Main, as well as all the pump stations in the collection system will be rehabilitated or replaced. So we're progressing with the design of those and hoping to have that done.
Okay, great. All right. Who's handling safety tonight? Larry here?
Hold on, I'll get it. Larry. A lot of people down there?
Good evening, everyone. I'm just going to jump over here. My name is Larry Schechtel. I'm the safety manager within TOMSA. For the month of February, we had 6,146 working hours with a year total of 16,627 no reported injuries to the date. We conduct our daily toolbox meetings, which is a safety briefing we do before our shifts, as well as our safety equipment inspections that are required from PIOSH and on. We're now expanded our hours that extends into our evening shift. So our evening shift now is also getting our daily safety talks, which we were lacking there for a little while. On February 27th, we had our JIF insurance inspection. Happy to say and happy to report with the help of our staff on hand, and we had no deficiencies reported. Unheard of these days to have absolutely no deficiencies within the authority. We had a forklift class hosted here and certified by PIOSH. We had 4 employees go through it and successfully pass it. We have a trench and excavation training class coming up in April, and a confined space train-the-trainer class coming up the end of March, that several employees and myself will attend, so we can train our own people within and not have to burden any kind of organizations. That's all I have for tonight. If anybody has any questions, my loss report from the JIF insurance was attached to my report.
Great job. Thank you for you and your crew.
Thank you.
like to, take a minute to introduce John. John's our S4 operator. He is required by OSHA for our DEP permit. He's a licensed operator, director. He's been with us 2 weeks now, doing a great job.
Alright, evening. Plant performed in compliance with permit regulations for the month of February. The average daily flow was 7.623 MGD with peak flow of 12 million. The FMVOD for the month is 3.75 with a 97.93 removal percentage. The F1TSS for the month is 8.87 parts per million with a 96.27% removal. And the average gate total percent solids was 16.22%. So equipment status, maintenance performed in the dewatering building as follows: replaced sludge isolation valves, cleaned out sludge mixing tanks, polymer lines, and brushes on both belts. VR welding was on site February 11th, along with a contractor working mechanical seals for the new circulator pump. The work was completed the same day. February 12th, we experienced a major problem with the blowers. Battery backup failed, left us with some programming issues. Maintenance is working on the problems. Primary tank 1 was taken out of service on February 12th due to sludge building in the tank. Maintenance worked on the problem and the tank was replaced and back in service within 2 days. And aeration tank 1 is offline. Aeration tanks 2 and 3 remain in service.
Thank you very much. Collections?
Good evening, everybody. So we had 2 reported sanitary sewer claims last month. One was a manhole that was kind of non-existent, not in our system. We popped a hole and there was basically a tree growing out of it. Took us 3 days to remove all the roots, but that was the reason for the overflow. 24 Cherry Tree Farm Road was just a soft blockage. They fielded a total of 42 calls, 17 markouts, did key manhole inspections. The grease traps are almost done, which I'm hoping after this evening we'll really be done with them. We continued cleaning and TVing with Oswald. The SCADA issue was resolved and it failed, so we called in a new company and they got most of it working. They have 1 more day left for us and we're hoping that they're gonna fix the rest of the issues that we're having. The DMR was submitted and completed. We began grease cutting in problem areas, known problem areas, and gravity main line was found exposed in the creek. So Paul is aware about it and we are gonna come up with a permanent solution to make sure it's encased properly.
Paul?
Oh. Good evening, everyone. Terry Bain, how you doing? Maintenance. So we basically completed our monthly inspection for the fire extinguishers. We did our chlorine content filters in the chlorine building. The weekly eye wash and emergency showers were done as well. Repaired lighting in the pole barn. Big task was we removed the muffin monster out at Fairview. We installed a rebuilt one and we are in the process of rebuilding the one we took out. Finished all the new LED lighting in the maintenance locker room and a couple other areas of the plant. Regular maintenance on the pumps throughout the plant, grease, oil, things like that are done monthly. We're done. We did a temporary pump at Harbor Green, which, as you guys know, we are going out tomorrow to do with maintenance with the new one. That was a temporary one, so that's coming out tomorrow. We installed a new Resner heater in the dewatering building. John Allen made repairs to the forklift. We had a problem with the brake again, so John fixed that. We did some work on some other trucks. The ongoing projects, as you can see, the aeration tank number 1, which John mentioned, is still down. We're still waiting for our actuator. I did get an update on that. That should be here soon. They're waiting on the valves that the actuator goes on. In raw, we have a 3rd grit pump that we're in the process of also rebuilding with all the other stuff we're working on. Main pump building, we're still waiting to get our pump back from municipal maintenance that we sent out, so we'd have a 5th pump ready to go if there's a problem in main pump, till we address that. Projects that are pending, we're still waiting on the Fairview heating system, the radiant heating system out there. The one failed. Unfortunately, we've been having a hard time getting those Resner heaters, but that's on the way. But probably be here another week. RAS building number 2, pump number 5 needs to be rebuilt, and then we're just waiting on some pole lighting pricing for the, pole lighting in the plant behind control that's messed up.
Couple years now.
That's all I got. Any questions?
Thank you. Paul.
Good evening, everybody. In this package, we have the new sludge haul disposal that bid was done on March 4th. We're looking to award that tonight. The new price per ton is $137.87 for the first year and $140 for the second year. Now, this is gonna be an increase from about $770,000 a year to about $900,000 a year, based on the increase, and they were the low bid. So some of the other bidders were even higher. So one of the resolutions tonight is to get this bid awarded so that we can start this contract on April 1st. The existing contract was extended until March 31st. So we need to get this contract and performance bonds in-house pretty quickly. We're also getting quotes in for 2 new boilers. The boilers in the control right now for our digesters, which is a critical part of the digestion of this plant to stay in compliance. Both boilers are 27 years old, and we're having continuous failures with them. We're doing a design right now for 2 options. One's going to be a combined methane natural gas unit, which we have now, and the other one's a strictly natural gas. The piping configurations, all that stuff has to be upgraded to new diameter piping to handle the flow. Again, our digesters need to be maintained at 98 degrees temperature. That's whether it's 100 degrees out or whether it's 20 degrees out. It's a critical component to the success of the facility, so that's the package that we're gonna put together and present to the board, preferably in the early fall. And we've been trying to get through the best we can with the current stuff that we have, but it's constant failure, and the men and women here have been doing a fantastic job of keeping it running with parts, but again, these things are getting at the end of their life expectancy. As Jordan had mentioned, we're collaborating on the pump station, all the pump station upgrades, including the force mains. That's been an ongoing process in design. We're hoping to have a meeting in the near future to talk about the smaller pump stations and how we're gonna configure them and what we're looking to get inside them for long term. The new lab trailer, that work is pretty much completed as far as the manufacturer goes. Now we're in the process of getting pricing for the fit out. Obviously, the reason we expanded the lab, the additional square footage is because of constraints we have with the DEP. The testing is constantly changing, and in order to stay in compliance, we need to do upgrades with our equipment and also have the ability for the future build out of Middletown to set the more capacity going forward. So we're hoping to put that package together for a bid, mid-July, to get that fit out work done so we get the lab operational and, get things functioning with that. Digester project, that was just recently completed, change order is being finalized. And as we stated, the change order that College was working on, we had several days that we had to pump out the digesters due to the bar screens failing and all the rags that went through. Backed up the digesters, we took over 80 tons of rags out. It's detrimental to the processing that we have here. So there's a change order that had to be proceeded with. Glad we did, knock wood, the plant, seems to be running very well now. And, to me, it was a must. We had to do it, we're gonna have to do it for another 8 to 10 years if things go well. That's about the time frame of it, but because of other failing components at the head of the plant, that's what generated that additional work to be done. Atlantic Islands billing, where are we at here? I'm sorry. Atlantic Islands, we're working to provide a new budget with them for 2025. 24 numbers, the final closeout numbers were done, and we gave them the 2025 projected budget numbers, which will be increased. Highlands is also the same. The budget for Atlantic Islands was $70,000. Highlands budget is approximately $52,000 for a year, and this is based on the actual water usage. For the month of February, Atlantic Islands was $43,819. Highlands was $63,940 for a total of $107,000. Just a little narrative that I provided the board, just with some of our constant, failures that we're facing. We did that study here going back with PS&S of all our existing assets. And again, the problem is, most of these assets date back before Sandy. Half the stuff we have here is underwater. We've been rebuilding, most places send out for new pumps, we've been trying to rebuild everything we can to keep the cost down. But it's getting to a point now that with the cost, there's no more rebuilding pumps, parts aren't available. We're starting to have to buy new. I mean, just last week I got hit with $100,000, 4 pump failures. One pump's $32,000. We don't have an on-off switch. The flow's coming here regardless, and we have to process it. So it's things like that's been critical failures that are constantly our struggles here based on the aging of the plant itself, which we're working on in detail, putting plans together. But we anticipated, based on the 350 plus assets just in the plant alone, based on the manufacturer recommendations and the lifespan of these assets, you're talking about $20 million in the next 5 years. Keep this building going. And it's a major cost, it's a major upgrade, but again, everything's getting old. It's just part of the end game of them pumps and stuff. You know, we're constantly under new DEP changes and requirements. We've been operating in permit for months now. Knock wood, things have been running well, the plant's been running well. Very happy with the performance, so thank you everybody for that. We're gonna be looking into funding to potentially get a new back truck. Our back truck's 27 years old, constantly rebuilding it, having problems, it's actually down right now, we can fix. We have 350 miles of collection pipe that we have to maintain. We have to stay on it, because if we don't, you know, we gotta look into lining the pipes, we gotta look at asbestos cement pipe that has a life expectancy of 50 years, we're 54 years. So our efforts are gonna be 100% into these mains to keep the flow coming here and doing what we need to do to keep the plant operational so we can treat. That's pretty much all I have. Any questions? Thank you.
Okay, thanks. All right, move on to, the consent agenda. Resolutions 31, 2025 through 31, 2025 through 34, 2025. We need a motion.
Make a motion?
Second. Mr. Rogers?
Yes.
Ms. Edison? Yes. Mrs. Michael, sorry.
Yes.
Mr. Schweitzer?
Yes.
And Mr.
Yes.
Okay. Resolution 35, 2025, authorizing funds of sewer rate fees to certain rate payers. Your motion. Motion.
Make a motion? Second.
Mr. Rogers?
Yes.
Ms. Edison? Yes. Mr. Michael?
Yes.
Mr. Schweitzer?
Yes.
Mr.
Yes.
Okay, resolution 36, 2025, 2-year contract environmental protection improvement company. This is for the sludge. Need a motion.
Make a motion.
Second.
Mr. Rogers?
Yes.
Ms. Edison? Yes. Mr. Michael?
Yes.
Mrs. Schweitzer?
Yes.
And Mr.
Yes.
Revision to rules and regulations, resolution 37, 2025, improving revisions to police rules and regulations. Need a motion.
Make a motion?
Second.
Mr. Rogers?
Yes.
Ms. Edison? Yes. Mr. Michael?
Yes.
Mrs. Schweitzer?
Yes.
And Mr.
Yes.
You all have the budget analysis and the cash management reports. Anybody have any questions regarding that? Okay. We're gonna move on to, public comment at this time, so I'll open up the
Hold on, see, that contract for the cake sludge?
Yes.
It's a 2-year contract.
2-year contract.
Yeah.
First year 137, the second is 40. That's for wet time.
Yes.
Rebid March 4.
So we got it for 2 years? Correct. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
No, that's your question. All right, so I'm gonna open the meeting to, public comment at this time. Mitch, you have a statement?
Yeah, I'm gonna go over here, cause I hear that there's
Yeah,
people
the whole
outside.
hallway has.
Okay, we understand, we understand.
Oh.
Can everybody hear me back there?
Now we can.
Okay, so I'm gonna read the public comment statement. Anyone from the public wishing to address the board on any matter please come up to the table and state your name and address for the record. You will have 5 minutes to address the board. I will advise you when you have 1 minute remaining on your allotted 5 minutes. It should be further noted that the public comment portion of our meeting is not a question and answer session. There'll be no cross dialogue between a commenter and members of the board or authority staff. So whoever wants to make a public comment, raise your hand and you'll be recognized by the chair. And after we get through the people over here, we'll have more people from out there to come in and raise their hand as well. So anybody with the hand raised? Okay, why don't you come up? Okay, I understand. Yeah, come up.
Step up.
State your name and.
Name and address for the record.
Melanie Phelps, 26 Main Street, Swampscott, New Jersey.
So just so everybody knows, just so we're all clear, and thank you for coming, we appreciate you trying to address everybody's concerns and everybody's questions. So we'll take some notes, we'll comment it over, like I said, at the end, and then we'll move on. So, go ahead, here's your questions, starting now.
I do work at a sewage authority.
Okay?
We do not pass on the cost from the curb line to the customer. It is wrong because every time a developer builds a new development, they install a sewer system and turn that sewer system over to the township of Middletown Sewage Authority. The value of that sewer system gets recorded in their audit every year. It's called donated assets or developer contributions, and that value is based on the engineer's estimate. And that value gets factored into the connection fee calculation every year. So they essentially take ownership of it, report the value of it, and it gets used in the calculation. They can't just give that section of pipe back to the homeowner because that value has been used calculating the connection fee for the last 50 years. If they wanna give that homeowner the lateral from the curb to the main, it's only the right that they offer some monetary value to each homeowner to take ownership because they've been reporting that as their own for the last 50 years. We are entitled to have some consideration. Homeowners do not have an extra $25,000 if something goes wrong. We pay on time, we respect every employee here. We trust you with our homes, with our neighborhood. Take care of us like we take care of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else with their hand raised?
Richard Isaacson, 812 Don't Place Middletown. What you did to the public is unreal. You made them liable from their property to the street, across the street, down the road, wherever. Where do you think these people are getting that kind of money? That is unreal what you did to them. I'm glad you did it, because now you show them what you think of them. You're supposed to be helping people. If you ain't got the money, that's your problem. You ain't take care of business. You've been making money for how long? You had plenty of money. You didn't invest it in here, so now you want the taxpayer to pay for it. That's unreal. You people are unreal to shove that down them people's throats. How about somebody on a fixed income? How are they ever gonna do that pipe? Can't. Taxes go up steady, everything goes up, and now you wanna bury in with that. You wanna stick that on them. It's unreal. But I'm glad you did it, because now you showed people exactly what you think of them. What do you do with the money back in the day? What do you do with it? Why wasn't you upgrading your plan all the time? Why wasn't you buying pipe and doing this stuff? It's unreal. I come to these meetings before, back in the day. I see what goes on here. I know a lot of things go on here. I'm not gonna stay here tonight. But it's unreal what you did to taxpayers in Middletown Township. Thank you.
Step up. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, I'm Sharon Weed, 92 Main Street, Fort Monmouth.
Okay.
And lived here my whole life. And several concerns over this. First of all, as now senior citizen, fixed income, there is no way I would be able to pay for such a thing. I would not be eligible to get a loan to pay for such a thing, and I shouldn't have to. Because as everybody's income, and it would be very hard for everybody to do, okay? But as other people start to, get pay raises at work, time goes on, you don't get those kind of raises with Social Security. What I'm making now, I'm lucky if I get an extra $50 a month 5 years from now, okay? There's just no way it can happen. And then I think there's gonna be a very big discrepancy over the fact that you have this long sewer line in the street, and now one of my neighbors possibly, okay, it gets broke, they get attached, and the break wasn't even by me, but you've gotta disconnect me in order to replace the whole pipe. So, I mean, you understand what I'm saying, or do you want me to clarify that?
I'm very clear.
Okay, so then whose responsibility would it be then? You've gotta replace your pipe, cause your pipe corroded, but now it's gonna cost me money to hire a plumber and do everything else to run new pipes to connect to your new pipe. And something's not right with that either. Okay.
Thank you.
Hi, Jeannie Isaacson, 499 Roxbury Road. So my father just spoke, and we do have an issue over here on Main Street that had just came up a couple weeks ago. And we got a semi-estimate of what it would cost, and, you know, I know somebody had wrote on Facebook it would cost $5,000, that is not true. So, just for locating the sewer line, digging for Klein's sewer line on the other side of the curb across the street, existing main, and do a new tap connection, backfill, and a rough grade is $15,000. That does not include police, traffic safety, bonds, permits, the asphalt restoration, because on Main Street here in Belford, there's a concrete road underneath the asphalt road.
Yes.
Just saw that. It doesn't, sidewalk repair and landscape isn't included either, so those are additional costs, so you're looking at roughly, what, 20,000 or more? I don't think anybody has that laying around in their back pocket, that's not fair. And then to add to it, if you go down there, it says leak in the road from the water company. So every time those big dump trucks go down Main Street, the road shakes. It's probably hollow under there, you're just waiting for a sinkhole to open up. That could also be a reason why there's an issue with the sewer line, maybe it's cracked underneath from all those trucks going by. But now it's gonna be a homeowner's responsibility.
50 years old.
It's ridiculous. But we'll continue to pay more money for less. Thank you.
Hi, Assembly. My name's Gene Grasso. I've lived here for 60 years. There's a lot of problems coming down, with the flood. You know, they're putting the floodgates in, but we're getting stuck in the middle here in Belford. You come down, Main Street, you get down to Myrtle Avenue, down, to, Center Avenue, all that. If it gets a heavy rain, it's just, the place is flooded. And the old sewer pipes, drainage pipes, they're just, great. We've had, 2 or 3 developments put in, so there's more stuff coming down. I mean, nothing's draining in. And I've called the town, I've called the county, spoke to the engineers, and well, what nothing we can do about it. Years ago, when I was a young child, they used to go out there with these machines and clean these creeks, so the water would drain out to the creeks, to the main creek. But now, they don't do it no more, all they tell me now is the DEP, we're not allowed to do that no more. But, on that note, we are getting flooded all the time. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, Bennett Pond, Railroad Avenue, Myrtle Avenue, Main Street by Belford Park.
East End.
East End, thank you. I mean, if it rains, it rains. But when you get a good heavy rain, next thing you know, we're pumping out our basements. But before that, when they used to clean these creeks out, used to take the machines out there and do the, what do you call it, de-snagging, drain them out, never had a problem. But now they don't do it no more because the DEP says we can't do it no more. So, that's what I have to say on that, and thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, sir.
Ladies.
Yes, sir. State your name and address.
My name is Mark Stabo, I own a home at 79 Wheat Orphan Avenue in North Middletown. Somebody mentioned that there's a problem with the sewer lines to me just today, and that's why I'm here, because I just can't believe it. Has this been etched in stone? I am responsible to tear up a city street and hook my sewer line to the main and backfill? Is that what I'm responsible for now? I'm just asking, has it, that's the way it is now? And then is the code in Middletown?
Again, this isn't a question and answer period, you could state whatever you want, some comments will be addressed.
Okay,
by
I
the
can't
executive.
afford it. I'm retired, I'm on a fixed income. You put me out on the street. My house is well over 100 years old. I don't know when that sewer line was put in, but it's not scheduled for it. So if something happens, I will be out on the street, or I'll have a porta potty in my yard. That's all I have to say.
My name is Susan Pence, I live at 3 Pine Ridge Avenue. I just was I guess like a lot of people, I found out about this on social media. And I wondered, how did I miss something that's really, could potentially impact me? And I looked on your website today, I did see the notice about the rate increase and the notice about keeping, not to throw down the sewer. But I didn't see any notice about this, like when was this gonna be told to the public? When are we gonna find out? And the price. The price.
I'm sorry.
No, I've heard all sorts of estimates, and I guess it depends how far you are. So I don't even know how much money I'm talking about if my pipe breaks. And you were kind enough to let us know about the quarterly payment going up, but when are you gonna let us know about this? When was this gonna be made public, or have a campaign to make the public aware of this change? This is pretty big. This is not a 25% increase in our sewer rate, this is big. And you guys are affected too, I imagine you all live here too. I hope you all told your neighbors and your friends, and there's plenty of people here who don't know about it. And they learn the hard way. And I just think we have a right to know. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else from the public?
Can I speak again? I'm sorry.
No, you only get one
Why
5
didn't you
minute.
use all my 5 minutes?
It doesn't matter.
One shot. Yes, sir.
My name's Paul Bissell, I live at 61 Creek Road, Fort Myers.
Okay.
When did all this, I know it isn't question and answer, but nobody knew that this is, we have to pay for this up to the main. The main was put in when we were all kids and stuff around here, most of us. That shit's all rotten, like the infrastructure, like everything else. Who decided that we have to open the road, get open road permits and seal roads, and that shit ain't cheap for anybody. Nobody, I don't care, you know what, a lot of these people, they have insurance, they have things like that, and mortgages, and how's a common person gonna pay for this? Thank you, nobody wants to answer anything here anyway, but we're beat.
You go?
You go first.
My name is Linda Hockett. I'm from 753 Park Avenue in Belfort. My ancestors are from here. Grew up here, Fort Monmouth. And this is like the first meeting I'm speaking, but I gotta tell you, I didn't know that this was even passed. I thought we were coming here to like give our opinion and fight it off. But right now I'm sick to my stomach. But why in the hell, this whole sewer part thing here has been here for how many years?
50.
50 years. And it gets clogged and this and that. You know why? Because we just keep building. Build here, build there, put here, put there. Then all that tax money's coming in. So why in the hell would we have to pay for a street breakage when we have plenty of money? I don't get it. I just don't get it. The whole town is just between street sweepers and every other damn thing. Every drain is clogged. I'm just ranting, but the sewer should have been replaced before the pipes out in the street are 50 years old. Now we're finally getting nice new streets. We got a nice street in East Road now. So now the pipe breaks and now we gotta dig it all up and that's my problem? After the pipe's been in there for 50 years? I didn't even live in the house for 50 years. So I don't know who passed this, but I don't think it was thought through. And I don't know, it's just a horrible, disgusting thing to do to us and not let anybody know. I don't know where you advertised, but, or told us, we didn't get papers in the mail, emails, I
It
don't
was
know.
an A and a yay.
We didn't get nothing.
Yeah, that's what
I
they
think
did,
that's
yay
a
and
part,
nay.
and I didn't even know it was passed till I got here. Now I'm even more aggravated. Who in the hell does this? Who does this to a town that's paying the sewer bill every month? Couldn't we have gotten a paper in the sewer bill? Like, we got a paper saying, oh, the sewer bill's now from 90 to 100 and whatever. How come we didn't get notices before this was passed? Because now, you know what? It's gonna be tough to sell your house too. When they find out, well, if the pipe breaks in the street, it's gonna be $25,000 to repair it. So before you move in, you better check the rules of Middletown. I'm done.
Thank you.
My name's Bruce Stafford, live over on Brainerd Avenue. For starters, I couldn't hear everything that was going on when you guys went around the horn here, but it sounded to me like a whole lot of deficiencies over a short period of time. I heard a lot of dollars and cents mentioned. I don't know where the preventative maintenance came into the picture, but it sounds like somebody was deficient there, okay? Because we're gonna talk hundreds of thousands of dollars for this, and we're doing this, and when the meeting's over, that's gonna be completed. Who's bullcrapping who? I was born at ninth and not last night, okay? Based on the sewer bill, I've been here for 30 plus years. It was $70 then, a quarter. Went from 70 to 80, no big deal. Went from 80 to 106, little bit of a big deal. But it went from 106 to 120 overnight, over a couple of bills. It's like $120 a quarter per household. Big bucks. And for those of you people that pay, when you get the bill in the mail, you're paying 3 months early.
Yep, so they make interest.
If you look at the billing date on there, when it's due, it's not due for 3 months. Interest, you're not getting it.
They're making it.
Somebody's getting it.
Fancy cars they drive.
I think it's Manus.
Does anybody have anything to say to me? I think so. I'm okay.
You can't go back up and sit down.
Oh, I can't?
No.
Don't start my 5 minutes. Susan DiVincenzo, 398 Maple Drive, Belford. I think a clarification for the residents needs to be made. This is a separate entity from the township. This is an appointed separate entity of the township. Do you get my drift?
No.
No? Everyone was appointed by the mayor,
Township committee.
but you're a separate entity from the
We're a
township.
separate authority in the township committee. There's
Okay,
completely
that's a
separate.
gray area.
Not a gray area,
You're
it's
either-
completely separate. We run as a complete separate authority. Like the board of-
But you're all appointees by the mayor.
By the township committee, yes.
Okay. Revenue per year approximately, revenue, what do you bring in approximately, 5 to 10 mil?
Again, this
This
isn't a
is
question
statement, ma'am, you
answer.
can speak.
Okay, the statement is, their revenue each year is $5 to $10 million a year. That's my statement. I want the people of the community to know. This is an appointed committee from the mayor to take care of millions of dollars under a separate mask. Thank you. Because the residents deserve clarification. They don't know that the meeting was held to make this what it is right now. This was a Middletown operated operation. Now it's not. It's privatized, technically. Treat your residents well, you'll get the same in return. I want you all to be able to put your heads on your pillow at night knowing that you people, you are the same as us.
Absolutely.
Okay? Keep that in the back of your mind. Thanks.
Anybody else in the public comment? Anybody else?
I have a comment. Margaret Pascali, 61 Walnut. I have a red bank mailing address, but I'm Middletown. I'm Sunken City. So I guess I emailed questions, so I'm hoping that I do get response. I know you can't answer me, but hopefully I'll get a response. And I guess my house is over 100 years old. I know that infrastructure. So I don't think it's fair that you guys get to decide that the pass on costs to me to take care of a road that's already failing, that the infrastructure is already old and failing, and you're passing it off onto the homeowners. And I work for a company, so I know it's expensive. And if roads that get done is moratoriums, to open those is additional costs, and I really don't think it's fair, not, especially after this getting hit with $3,000 in taxes. So, it's, I hope that my questions get answered. So.
Edward Reed, 14 Second Avenue. I got a question. You're talking about pumps. Got to be replaced because of Sandy. What's all the Sandy money you got? Everybody got Sandy cash, so what happened to it?
Capital projects and nobody knows about.
Yeah.
I didn't hear a thing on that.
Yeah. You guys should be ashamed of yourselves for not answering any questions.
Oh, they were hit by Sandy, but why didn't they get replaced? We got Sandy money for it.
Village needs to come through here.
Is there anybody else outside who wants to make a public comment?
Yeah, here comes someone.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Lizette Adamici. I own a property in Middletown.
Your address, ma'am?
753 Monmouth Parkway. I actually thought I didn't receive notice for this because I don't live there. I have a resident that lives there. But I always get my bills. And I also know working in construction, sewage authorities often require CCTV footage of their lines before they're turned over because you're responsible for it. Are we, or can we, I'm requesting at bare minimum CCTV footage of those laterals so that we can confirm that they're not damaged or there's no existing problems, so we can get that decency, as I know you guys often ask for. So if we could just request that at least, and anything existing maybe be the issue for the sewage authority, I think that's a fair compromise. Thank you.
Thank you.
Statements, everybody?
Good evening, Joe Delvelle from Riverbrook Avenue in Lincroft.
Address is what?
Riverbrook Avenue in Lincroft. My only comments are, I was able to obtain a permit from the town